Welcome to BDSM, Bloody Dreadful Shite Movies. This is Chris.
Hello there.
Silence, scum!
And some people say he has questionable taste in movies, so he's on a mission to find out if this is true by watching the most painfully bad movies he can find to see if he can get any pleasure from them.
You using the whole fist, Doc?
Just relax. Hello and welcome to the BDSM Cinematic Dungeon. I hope you're all well. And this time, I'm going to subject myself to 2009's action horror Against the Dark, which has a rating of 3.1 out of 10 and a runtime of 1 hour 34 minutes. And it stars...
So please welcome action star and hero, Steven Seagal.
Who's that?
For those of you who don't know who Steven Frederick Seagal is, he's an American action star, producer, screenwriter, martial artist, and a musician. He's a 7-dan black belt in Aikido, but nowadays he's just more desperate Dan. He made his acting debut in Above the Law in 1988, which I quite like, and was at the height of his career until the late 90s, with movies like Hard to Kill, Marked for Death, Out for Justice, Under Siege, On Deadly Ground, Under Siege 2, Executive Decision, but he didn't last long because he sort of got sucked out of an airplane in that one, and Exit Wounds. And after that, his career went straight to video. So what is Against the Dark about?
When most of the population of Earth is infected with a virus and transformed into flesh-eaters and blood-drinking creatures, a group of hunters led by Tao chases the vampire zombies to eliminate them. 6 non-infected survivors try to find the exit of an abandoned hospital crowded with the infected creatures, and Tao and his group help them. Meanwhile, the military command is ready to bomb the area and wipe it from the map.
Sounds like it's going to be a Walking Dead / Blade ripoff. And has some great reviews like this.
Christopher Ritzer writes, "Oh crap. Oh crap is right. What the heck is this work and who needs to be held responsible? I've seen a lot of bad movies in my life, actually even enjoy quite a few horrid flicks. But this was so bad I turned it off. After checking the clock to see how much longer it could possibly have." Segal? He had a few good ones. "You're not Blade, never will be. And you should quit while you're ahead. 10 years ago. Story sucked. Acting sucked. Overall production sucked. But none of them sucked as bad as the fact that the 30 minutes or so I dedicated to this movie, I will never get back. Ugh. Do yourself a favor. Don't watch this, unless you're suicidal. It'll help you take the plunge."
Oh shit. I hope it doesn't push me over the edge.
I can see my house from here!
Next.
Continuum X writes, "Complete rubbish. First thing first. If you're considering watching this because you are a Steven Seagal fan, don't waste your time. He is barely in it and does almost nothing. Putting him on the poster is almost but not quite false advertising. Other than that, this movie is terrible. The lighting is so bad that you can't even see whatever stupid stuff is supposed to be happening most of the time. When you can see what is happening, it's really stupid and boring and makes no sense. It's maybe 15 minutes worth of movie that goes on for 93 minutes. The remaining 78 are just padding. It's really boring. The acting is bad. The editing is terrible. It doesn't even have good fight scenes. The only good thing about this movie is that it ends."
So at least I've got one thing to look forward to. The end titles. I wonder if Against the Dark could possibly have any 10 out of 10 reviews. And it has one.
Fuck off.
Dolomite writes, "Needs tighter editing. Not bad, not great either. A lot of doubts I had with Against the Dark were confirmed when I watched it. Its general ideas are outweighed by obvious budget restraints. Although for a low-budget STV release, it was okay. The look of the movie, cinematography, music and FX were all competent. It just needs tighter editing, and maybe a few more subplots, something I thought I'd never ask for, given the overabundance of filler plots in more recent Seagal movies. For once, a bit more plot wouldn't go amiss, other than people wandering around corridors, waiting to be attacked, then rescued. The end. David Cronenberg pulled off a similar trick in Shivers by adding offbeat dialogue and situations. The director of Against the Dark is no Cronenberg, and I'm sure you know by now that although billed as a Seagal flick, his screen time amounts to about a third of the running time, although the fragmented plot ensures that nearly most of the cast are only ever seen roughly the same length also. Seagal is fine in the role of Tao, master swordsman, and vigilante, and one can only sit back and wish that he had more screen time and more ass-kicking to do, but he does do a fair amount here. The other actors around him are okay, but nothing to write home about either. I was surprised at the gore factor, quite Romero-ish in places, but hardly anything to keep KNB awake at night. With a little bit of editing and more choice dialogue, this movie could have easily held its head up amongst the likes of lower-ranked zombie fare like Diary of the Dead or 28 Weeks Later. As it is, though, it's sadly a horror movie whose sole attraction is a star who is hardly in it. It's still a lot better than Kill Switch, though. Big Lee gives Against the Dark a 7 out of 10, only for the presence of the stout sensei.
That really wasn't a review. It was basically just a list of what was missing, which made it a 10-star movie. Right, I best grab some popcorn and watch this bitch.
If there was anyone left, they would have come for us already.
It's just us and them.
Vampire hunters.
Ex-military guys who were trained to kill.
Led by a master swordsman.
We're here to decide who lives and dies.
We'll stop at nothing to save the human race.
We're gonna make it, even if it kills us.
No.
Steven Seagal. Against the Dark.
What are you gonna do?
I'm going hunting.
On DVD.
What the fuck was that? I'm not going to do my normal review of this. It's going to be a safe word review.
My safe word is penis.
Because Against the Dark really isn't a movie. It's just a collection of repetitive scenes. Let's begin with our so-called hero, played by Steven Seagal, who, I think, is trying to be like Blade.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
But he comes off more like,
now get the hell off my lawn!
with the fighting style of a toddler waving a stick. But you really can't call Seagal the hero, because he's hardly in the movie. Maybe 15 to 20 minutes, the runtime. And that's where we get to the repetitive scenes. Basically, this whole movie is made up of 3 scenes. 1. Unlikable people walking slowly through empty corridors. That really cuts down the budget. Just a couple of corridors. 2. Said people splitting up and getting attacked by what I can only describe as vampies. Cross between a vampire and a zombie. 3. Our hero shows up, kills the vampies by shooting them, hitting them with a very bendy sword, and then he just toddles off. And repeat that over and over again until the end titles happens. Yes, the hero, Steven Seagal. He makes this one scene. He comes in, waves his sword about. This little kid asks him his name, and this is how he answers.
My name is Tao.
I've got to use that music sting. Every time I say my name, I'm going to use that sting. I'm going to program it into my phone. I wish I could do it voice activated. My name is Chris. Oh dear. And that's it. That's Against the Dark in a nutshell. It's a bland mess that is less entertaining as paint drying or bowel surgery. I really wasted my life on this one, totally. I cannot believe I actually sat through this 1 hour 30 minutes, which seemed like a lifetime. It is totally without any merit whatsoever. Oh, God. I'm really regretting my life choices, watching so much shit. So, next time, I'm going to watch twice the amount of shit. I'm going to do something so stupid. I'm going to watch 2 very low-rated, female-led superhero movies and have them fight to the cinematic death. One is 2004's Catwoman versus 2024's Madam Web. Oh, God. Catwoman. Halle Berry. She won a Razzie for her performance, and she went to the Razzies and did a speech. And Madam Web star, Dakota Johnson, she sacked her manager for putting her in that pile of garbage. So, I am totally going nuts by watching this shit. So, see you next time for my mental breakdown.
If you would like to help Chris on his journey through cinematic pain and pleasure, then you could join our new Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/badflix. That's BADFLCX, Badflix. And you can contact Chris by email bdsmpodmovie@gmail.com. For movie recommendations, feedback, or just to say hi, please don't forget to rate, subscribe,
And all that jazz.
Free bagels.